Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Don, double D's, and I just want to share my thoughts on ECST. Where do we start? So this was an interesting year, I can tell you that. First of all, I'm going to start with compliments, and then I'm going to go into some critiques. So Will was, I guess, one of the well, I know for a fact he was one of the main guys who made this thing happen. So for one, thank you, Will. There was many other people. It's not just him. Not one guy can do this. There's a whole fleet of people. So I'm not going to name all the names just because I don't know all the names. For me, I'm an outsider looking in. I'm a spectator, or what is it? A participant. I did shoot. I shot horribly, but I did shoot. I didn't go there for just to watch, so not a spectator. I apologize. I was a participant. But that's how I treated it, as I was just a participant. I wasn't anything to do with organizing it. I have no desire to do that. And if it stops tomorrow, it's really no sweat off my ass, man. I really don't care. I love going to it. I had a blast. I met a hell of a lot of cool people, got to shoot with a bunch of badass people. So I'm thankful that it happens, but it's not live or die to me. If I don't ever go to one again, I'm still going to shoot slingshots. I'm still going to do my YouTube. I'm still going to reach out to the community and talk with you guys and interact and have a blast, because I made lots of good friends throughout these couple of years that I've been doing this. So that being said, thank you, Will. Thank you all for organizing this and got it together. I hope there's many more years to come. I hope it grows. But as we grow, we need to definitely tackle some things that have arose. All right, now let's go back to some of the things that I observed while being there. For one, and I'm not going to drop a bunch of names here, but I will mention a few. All right, Chuck and Steel. This has been a thing that's starting to grow some, starting to get some momentum, I guess we'll say. Chuck and Steel, and I'm not speaking for him, and if you need more details, you can reach out to him if you feel like it or whatever, or you can watch some of the lives, or you can just go to Facebook and see some of the hate that's out there. But Chuck and Steel had some sort of medical kind of emergency, okay? Like I said, I'm not speaking for him, so I'm not going to go into details. But there was some issues with how he was feeling and his health. I consider Chuck and Steel as one of my best friends, all right? So am I biased? Maybe. I don't know. But one thing I've learned from him becoming one of my very good friends is, and which is very few because there's a lot of haters out there, but I do have a few friends, and he is one of them. When my friends are in medical issues or something like that, sometimes I am pretty blonde and it doesn't register to me, right? So he did mention he wasn't feeling right, and I took it pretty lightly, okay? I didn't really dig into it. I'm like, all right, maybe it's anxiety, because I've seen a bunch of grown men act like little freaking babies when they go up to the line to shoot, including myself. You get the shakes, some of us, you get really weird, you get lightheaded or whatever, because you're just not used to performing like this. You will become used to it if you do more of it. This year I was a lot less nervous than the first year, but I still got a little bit of the jitters. So maybe that's it. Some people have super bad anxiety. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. So I wrote it off, right? I didn't give it a second thought. I probably should have, but I didn't. And I'm at peace with that. And I told Chuckin my side of it, that I should have probably taken it more seriously, but I didn't. I can't change that, and I'm not going to carry that weight around in my life. He knows what he knows, and I know what I know as far as whatever. So now we got that out of the way, for poop's sake. All right, so during the speed shoot section of this tournament, apparently he stepped away. So he started his round, and then he stepped away. After he got over whatever he was going through, or got stable enough to shoot it again, he stepped back to the line. And he took some time off of his clock and then continued to shoot the speed shoot, and then eventually turned in a score. I was not there. So my say-so in this is strictly secondhand. I did not witness any of this, as far as him at the speed shoot stepping away from the line. Now, that leads me to, what are we going to do next year? Let's look past this, all right? Chuck and Steele came up to the table and talked to Will, and Will talked to him. I don't know who reached out to who, but they came to the conclusion that he should step out of the tournament and be disqualified. They worked that out. Nothing to do with me, but that's how it ended up. They ended up working it out where Chuck and Steele was disqualified. He passed the trophy on to the next guy in line, which they thought seemed fair, and they worked it out. So good for them. So that got sorted out. But the thing that didn't get sorted out is how are we going to prevent this from happening in the future? I've noticed over the past year when this has changed hands, everybody, well, not everybody, but there's a few different ways to approach this, right? So some people want this tournament to be standardized. They want it to be professional. They want it to be, compared to the tournaments overseas. They want us to be taken seriously. They want us to step up and grow. They want everything to, they paint it as a beautiful growing experience and picture. None of this would have happened if we had some sort of regulations as far as like people regulating it. What I mean by that is when I shot the speed shoot, right? I went down there. The metal cans were all sitting there. And I was like, all right, I'm going to run through this a couple of times, and then I'm going to go for score. I was stopped by a few different individuals before I had a chance to shoot and said, no, you cannot practice that. That's part of the rules. You can step over there and you can practice the 10 cans knockdowns, but you cannot practice on the metal targets. Okay, cool. Is that the rules? Sweet. It wasn't an official. It wasn't a dude that said, hey, I'm running this thing and you are not supposed to do that. It was just people saying, hey, you're not supposed to practice that. So I never took a single practice run on the cans. Whatever. It's not a big deal. We practice before we get to the tournament, right? So you should already know what to do. I shot my speed shoot. I got 10 cans. Hey, I'm cool with that, man. It was fun. I enjoyed it. But, I just grabbed somebody and I'm like, hey, score this for me, Okay, cool. So now you're my witness. Fast forward. A couple hours later. You're all over the place, right? So you go out to shoot, you shoot the woods course, you do whatever you do, you plink around on the range, come back down there. Now we have 5 or more people practicing on the actual, metal targets that you shoot. So I don't say anything because really, I don't care. If you want to practice that, so what? Maybe you can't practice speed at your house. Who cares? If you need a couple of rounds to get rolling, do it, man. If that's gonna help you get a better score and feel better about yourself, then awesome, man. I don't see it being a big deal. So I didn't step in and say, hey, you can't practice that because I didn't practice it. But hey, nobody let me do it. So where's the regulations in that? Not a big deal to me, but to some people it is, obviously, because everybody's bitching and moaning about cheating and shit. So, all right, how do we fix that? Well, I feel that maybe there should be some people that are actually watching and part of this event. Now, I know this is volunteer probably for a lot of people, so you're going to have to, get some people that are going to volunteer for this. And I don't think anybody's going to want to stand down there all day. So maybe you should put as much emphasis on this as you do the knockdowns. So now it's a timed event. It's a scheduled event, we'll say. So Friday from 12 to 2, you got to get your happy ass down there with an official watching you speed shoot. You don't have to get a number, just stand in line. If it's open between 12 and 2 or whatever, step to the line and shoot. So now that guy only has to be there for a couple hours. He doesn't have to be tied to the speed shoot the whole time. Maybe you can have a bright yellow shirt. You can get those at Hobby Lobby. You don't have to print the sponsors on there. You don't have to spend extra money getting labels of who he is. Everybody just knows the dude who's got the bright yellow shirt is going to be the guy with the clipboard. You hand him your paper, you do your fucking thing, and then they say this is your official score scored by Johnny, who was down there from 12 to 2 because that's when this event takes place. You don't make it, you don't get a score. Problem solved, right? Whoa, now we're getting to be more like an official tournament, right? Neato. I don't know, man. That's just my 2 cents, and my 2 cents ain't worth shit. So take it as you want to take it. But Will asked for people's ideas, and this is an idea. Same as the woods course. We went there Thursday, right? I was able to get there Thursday. No rain. It was nice. We definitely had time to shoot, but we didn't because the tournament doesn't start till Friday, right? So a lot of people were like, should we shoot it? Should we not? It's supposed to rain tomorrow. I'd rather shoot it not in the rain, but I don't feel like maybe we shouldn't open up and do this before the tournament technically starts. Well, nobody stopped them, right? I mean, I think a couple people scored it. I didn't do it. I waited till Friday when the tournament started, and then we went ahead and did it. And we did it in the rain. Not a big deal, whatever. It wouldn't have affected my score. I shot like poop, and it is what it is. I need to practice. I need more practice, and I need to get better as a shooter if I want to raise my rankings. I'm not blaming on rain or anything else, but we waited, and we did it during the event times, and we turned in our scores. So maybe once again, woods course, you have to have an official. There's a guy in a yellow shirt. You give him your clipboard, or he holds the clipboard. You give him your paperwork. Okay, he is the one who makes the call. Was that a hit? First shot, I heard a ting. Well, the official did, so it counts. The official didn't, so it doesn't count. Plain and simple. Now, when you turn it in and you want to argue with the guy, well, he's the official. He made it. He's the guy who's judging this. Not you, not your buddy. Not the guy down the corner who was talking to somebody else who maybe he heard it, maybe he didn't. I don't know. That's just an idea, man. Yes, once again, these are volunteers. They're not getting paid, so you're going to have to reach out and find out if people are even interested in doing this. But if everybody wants to be so picky and critical about things, then we need to have more regulations. Now, what does that do for you and me? Well, is it going to suck the fun out of it? I don't go there. Let's say you win ECST for 5 years in a row, first place. And then you go back to your 40-hour-a-week job and your family. Are you going to go to China? Are you going to go to the wherever the hell these tournaments are and be? Who is? I don't know. If that's your dreams, I encourage you to do that. I would say most of us, it's probably not their dreams. By the amount of casual, we'll say, encounters at this tournament, most of us are there for camaraderie, brotherhood, meeting with people, enjoying our hobby, sport, and enjoying a good time, man. It was a genuine good time. I had a blast. Through the rain, through the wind, through the cold, it was a really good time, man. I got to meet a lot of people that I only see on YouTube. Got to hang out with them back at the house. I mean, lots of good things, lots of good memories were made. So overall, I ain't bitching about it from my aspect, but I just hear a lot of people, on Facebook, dogging Chuck and Steele, saying he cheated, and that's bullshit. He didn't cheat. It could have went down a lot better ways than it did, and there was no official or anyone there to stop it or to clarify. They could have clarified it real easily if the guy was there and he's like, why you backing up? Why are you sitting down? The time's still running. Do you forfeit? And then Chuck would have been like, I'm fucking sick, or whatever it was. And yes, I'm going to have to forfeit. Problem solved. He would have turned in the rest of his scores. He would have had 0 in the speed shoot, and everybody would have been moving along. Now, there's some other people, saying on Facebook, oh, well, I heard there was some discrepancy on the woods course, too, Okay. Prove it. Why the hell would anybody want to lie? It's just slingshots, guys. We're having fun. Why would you lie on the woods course? Like, there's 10 other people around you. What do you do? You mark it down in pen and then you cross it off and say, no, I got a 3, not a 2? I mean, I don't get it. So to call him out and call him a cheat is really a crock of poop in my book. And I know for a fact he didn't cheat. I've shot with this guy in real life, not at a tournament. And I've seen him pull off some shots that are not YouTube magic. They're not editing. He's a great shot. And beyond that, he's a great guy. So I don't know, guys. Will, everyone else, you pulled off a good show. It was a good times overall. It went very well. You worked your ass off for it, but there's definitely room for improvement. I don't know if I'm going to go next year or not. It just depends. But I'm glad I went the first 2 years. I'm glad I was able to experience this. And I hope that you guys can get some other feedback from other people who are probably, there's probably lots of people that have opinions on this. So, yeah. Anyway, back to normal crap. Screw all this shit. I'm moving on to my normal stuff. I got some reviews coming up. Bouncing out of the drama here because that's just not what I do. I really don't care about this. So back to reviews, back to shooting, back to getting better. So that way, if I do go next year, hopefully I can get better than I did this year. I shot like complete and total ass, but that's on me, nobody else. And I'm okay with that. I can get better. Not a big deal. So yeah, like and subscribe if you dare. And I promise you most of my videos are not like this. If this is your first one that you've ever encountered, just skip past this. Maybe look at this one up here. I don't know. Maybe I'll put some more entertaining ones up there. But I did have to say all this stuff. I had to get it off my chest just to get it out there. And you guys can do whatever you want with this. All right. Peace.